All right, guys, today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. So I don't know if you guys are like me at all, but I feel like I have to be extremely cheap nowadays. And it could just be I just don't make a lot of money doing this, which is fine, but it makes me get a little bit creative if I want to do certain recreational activities like off-roading. Well, today I want to go through with you guys how to find a halfway decent four-wheel drive in today's economy, which is a little bit overinflated, and find something that's halfway decent, has some aftermarket support, and isn't going to break the bank if you want to go out and hit the trails. So we're going to go through Marketplace just because that seems to be one of the most popular and extensive places to find vehicles for sale, even though I absolutely hate buying stuff or even selling stuff on Marketplace. It seems like everybody just tries to lowball you and you're getting more and more frustrated because people don't show up when they say they're going to show up, or they show up and they don't have the money, or whatever the case may be. You guys know the drill. All right, so first things first, guys, there's a couple of different platforms that make really good vehicles to build trail rigs out of. These are going to be vehicles like your Toyota 4Runner, Toyota Tacoma, new and older generations. We're going to look at vehicles like the Jeep Wrangler and even older Jeep Wranglers, even into the 90s where they still had the square headlights, and maybe even some that predate even the 90s for Jeeps. We're going to look at those types of vehicles first. Now, chances are really good that we're not going to find something that is going to be a good deal. I mean, it's probably a good vehicle, it's probably built up nice and everything else, but it's probably going to come with a hefty price tag too. So what we want to do is we want to look at some of those alternatives as far as four-wheel drive vehicles. Maybe they're not the most desired four-wheel drive vehicles, but really in today's video, our purpose is to find something super inexpensive that we can build up. So even though it might not be the most desirable vehicle, you still might get a heck of a deal on it. So then, besides those more popular off-roading vehicles like the Toyotas and Jeeps, what do we want to look for? Well, here's the thing. We're probably going to end up finding something that's going to be a bit older. It may not be in the best of condition. One thing you definitely want to stay away from is a vehicle that has a lot of rust on it, especially frame damage. Like, for example, some of the mid 80s to early 90s Jeep Wranglers with the square headlights, they had a lot of issues with the frame rusting in the back, like behind the rear axle where the spring mounts are. So, just one thing to look out there for. But you definitely want to stay away from a lot of rust, which for a lot of you guys that are below the salt belt line, that's not really an issue. So other things that we're going to take a quick peek at is reliability on some of these mass-produced vehicles. We want to look at things that do have a good drivetrain in them, good engine, good transmission, good transfer case, and just altogether a good driveline. Again, good aftermarket support, so you can find those parts availability out there on the market that you can fix them up relatively easily and cheaply. So some other ones that kind of stand out right away to me are like maybe a Nissan Pathfinder, or even an older Xterra, or even like a Mitsubishi Montero, although there's not a whole lot of aftermarket support for those. GMC Canyons, or the S10 Blazers, or even the older Grand Cherokees, where the ZJs and the WJs, some of those have some really good aftermarket support that you can still find relatively cheaply because the market was so saturated with them. So with that said, when I jump on Marketplace and I'm looking for vehicles, as you guys know, I just recently, within the last few months, picked up that 89 Jeep Cherokee. Now that one I didn't find on Marketplace, so that is totally irrelevant to this video, but I did a lot of searching, a lot of looking around. I got the feel for the entire market to figure out where pricing is, how inflated it is, and that gave me a really good idea as to what price range I wanted to look in for a halfway decent four-wheel drive. So when I'm looking at Marketplace, I expand my search out about a few hundred miles or so, depending on the area. And then I want to look for, obviously, vehicles with four-wheel drive. So I just punch in, 4x4 in the search criteria here. And then basically I'm going to search down and I'm going to look for those types of vehicles that have a good price. That's the number one thing. Like, for example, as I'm talking to you guys, there's this 2002 Dodge transmission issues, I get it, but it does have a gas engine, which is a little bit more economical, obviously, than a diesel engine. It does have four-wheel drive. It's a regular cab. Doesn't have a lift on it, but it does have wheels and tires on it. Tires look halfway decent. So 2002 Dodge Ram 1500. It's a long bed, so not necessarily preferable for out on the trails for my personal likings, but a lot of guys like the long beds. Anyways, four-wheel drive, has only 138,000 miles on it, just over 138,000 miles on it. Automatic transmission. The guy's only asking $5,000. Now, to me, that's a heck of a good deal. You get a good running four-wheel drive vehicle. Yeah, there might be some issues. Maybe there's transmission issues where you find out those types of things as you can jump on different vehicle background check websites like Carfax obviously is one of them, and there's several others out there that you can pay for a certain amount of background checks on these vehicles for relatively inexpensive. I think the last one I paid for, I got 8 different searches for, I think it was like $22 or $25, something like that. But it gave me that availability to punch in the VIN number and do a background check on the vehicle just to see if it was in any accidents or what kind of service records it had to it. So it makes sense to pay that little bit of money to save a lot of money in the long run for some of those vehicle history reports. Like this vehicle here, yeah, it's kind of tore up a little bit in the interior, the driver's seat, but everything else looks pretty decent. And it does have a manual transfer case too, which I'd prefer to see that over an electronic shifting transfer case, because then obviously you're going to have less issues with the electronics going out or some servos going out in the front axle, and the list goes on. So manual transfer case is really good. It does have a bit of a description here that does include some newer upgrades and some parts replacements, which is nice. You can tell when somebody kind of takes care of their vehicles when, you know, they have things on here like it's got a new water pump, new timing cover sealed, which that is a little bit concerning because what happened that he had to remove the timing cover? Was it just leaking? So those are questions that you can ask when you contact these people. Really, for $5,000, you're getting, you know, obviously pending an inspection in person, a physical inspection in person, a test drive, and all those different things. You know, once you check it out, try out the four-wheel drive, make sure everything works halfway decent for $5,000, that's not too bad of a deal. So that could be one of the vehicles that you just happen to come across on Marketplace. Here's one that's a 2005 GMC Canyon. It looks like it's a 2-door, 6-foot bed, $4,500, 102,000 miles, not bad. Automatic transmission, which I don't know or have ever heard of too many issues with these Canyons as far as the transmissions. I don't know personally, maybe you guys know, but I don't. Just never really heard of any issues with them. So let's look at the description here, right? So runs and drives great, brand new tires, fresh oil change, 4x4 just went out the door. Well, this vehicle just went out the door too. So we're gonna keep looking because I don't want to go through a bunch of issues trying to diagnose why the four-wheel drive might not be working. Here's a 97 Toyota 4Runner. Now this one does have 300,000 miles on it, which personally I wouldn't be afraid of as long as the vehicle looks in halfway decent condition. So this one does have the 3.4 liter. Tires look like crap, but that's okay. We're going to want to put new tires and wheels on it anyway from TrailBuilt Off-Road, so who cares about the tires? The interior is halfway decent. So it says, let's look at the description here. It says, excellent condition. Everything works in this truck. It has a almost new timing belt, spark plugs, cables, tie rods, sway bar links, AC and heat, good. Sunroof, good tires, no light on panel. Almost intact since there's no rust. Well, that doesn't make a bit of sense. How can it be almost intact with no rust? Anyways, but a Toyota 4Runner for $3,700 with 300,000 miles to go out and hit the trails with, that's not a bad deal. I would do that all day long. All right, here's $1,000 for a Ford F-150. It's a 95 automatic transmission, 161,000 miles. So 95 Ford F-150, 2-door, 8-foot box, 5 liter, good engine, 3 owners. I have the title, runs and drives, pretty rusty, but motor and drivetrain are good. Power locks, windows, doors, 4x4 and radio work good. That's good. Brand new ignition coil, distributor cabinet and rotor. Ignition control model's been replaced. Module as of 2020. New brake lines all the way back. That's a really good thing. Rims are in good shape and are almost brand new. Stop driving due to front leaf spring brackets rotting out. So she's squatting now. Bam, done. I'm not going to look any further into that because that sounds like a project that I just wouldn't want to deal with, right? So continuing down the list here, what else do we got? So here's a 2003 GMC Sierra. Now, this isn't a bad pickup truck. A lot of these vehicles that we're going to find are going to have the independent front suspension on them, which, again, we're just looking for a four-wheel drive toy to hit the trails with. Oh, she's ugly. The cap's got to go. This thing's got a light blue cap on a dark blue truck. Definitely needs some wheels and tires. Interior's not too bad. It's got some tears in the seats, but doesn't look too horrible. 149 on the clock, almost 150 on the clock, which that isn't bad. And it probably has the 5.3, yeah, it's a 2003, so I'm guessing it's probably like a Gen 2 5.3 liter automatic transmission, which if it's well taken care of, 150,000 miles on a GMC, really isn't that bad at all. And here's another one with an 8-foot box. I don't know why all of these are showing up with 8-foot boxes, but anyways, tires probably have less than 10,000 miles on them and are still like new. I never trust that. I always wait upon my own personal inspection to actually check the tires out and the rest of the vehicle for that matter. No lights on the dash, everything works as it should. Has 4-wheel drive. So might be a decent one to check out. 2003 for 4,800 bucks. That's not too bad. So that may be another one we can put on the list there. So SR5 is the base model Tacoma. But here's a oh no, this is a 4Runner SR5. So yeah, here's a 99 Toyota 4Runner SR5, which is just like the base model, the SR5s. Sport utility 4-door, 5,200 miles, or 5,200 bucks, and 234,000 miles. So again, not too bad. It actually has about 65,000 miles less than that other one, that other 4Runner we were looking at, and that one was 3,700. So, you know, for another, I don't know, 1,800 bucks, 1,600 bucks or so, you're getting 65,000 less miles, and this one's a 99, so you're going up, what, 4 or 5 years or 6 years, whatever the other one was, I don't remember, but 99. And let's see here, it says clean title, which is good, was my father's, unfortunately, just putting him in nursing. Okay, spent a lot of money on this 4Runner. If that's the case, let's see some receipts, right? The vehicle has spent its whole life in Arizona and was brought up to Wisconsin on a car transporter, never seen salt. Lots of features, rear power window, tow package, aftermarket backup camera, and more. Kept in storage unit, covered as much as I want to keep it. Already have 2 vehicles. Will not answer, is this still available? Yeah, that default response, is this available? Is this available? Guys, just hit them up. Just be like, hey, I'm interested in your vehicle. I want to take a look at it. When can we schedule a time? If it's still there, chances are it's available, right? So again, another halfway decent vehicle that you can find just searching marketplace if you're looking for something a little bit cheaper. But first things first, you got to determine what your budget is, right? You got to have a certain amount that you want to spend, and then from there it's just really just getting out there and checking out these vehicles, and then, you know, looking for those certain things that disqualify it right away. Like there was a couple in here. The one F-150 was squatting because the spring perch or spring bracket went into the frame, so that's no good. So just those things that really kind of turn you off, just stay away from those. Other than that, guys, if you are looking for new tires for your new vehicle, when you do get it, definitely make sure and hit us up at TrailBuilt or by clicking the link in the description below. And guys, as always, we appreciate all of you for watching and all of your support. I'm Josh from TrailBuilt, and we'll see you guys out on the trails.